You are going to see fragments from the Thinking Approach lesson on the text technology with Year 11 students. The students are 17–18 years old and they have worked with the Thinking Approach for a year and a half. The lesson is conducted by an experienced TA teacher who has worked with Approach for 7 years. The total time of the lesson is 80 minutes and it is dedicated to the improvement of students' models for text creation in the text technology of the Thinking Approach. The development and improvement of models, also referred to as preparation parts in the video, is an important part of the work in the Thinking Approach aimed at the development of learner thinking skills. This video will give you an example of how such work can be organized, what possible outcomes could be, and how the teacher could facilitate the process.
So today we are going to discuss the preparation part which you did at home for part 6 of 2 tasks. Before we discuss this, I want you to take some time and to think about the preparation part in general. Your opinion, your concerns, your questions, which you might still have about the preparation part in general, not particular preparation part, but part 6, task 6 or task 4, but in general. So may I have your ideas?
There are more abilities to create something new, because we
Abilities to do what?
to create something new, like new ideas, and so it is because of we are discussing some themes, we not usual themes, so original themes, and that's why we create something new.
Okay, what does help you to create something new in the preparation part of the task itself?
The task and the preparation. So.
After.
What must be the optimal size for their preparation? And how maybe to choose the size? What does it depend on?
Is it your idea?
We often used brainstorming. We often use brainstorming to find new ideas, but I don't know, is it the best way to find new ideas, or maybe is a way which is better and easier than this one?
Why do you have this question?
Because in my preparation, always first step is brainstorming.
In preparation, I can add some ideas which I want to use in the text or something else I prepared. I wanted to name one of the advantages of doing preparation for task 6, and I found it as that after describing the character I would like to write about, he becomes more realistic and individual, I think. So when I describe the character, I think that I put some features which I would like to see in him. So that's why he becomes more like, especially my character, not Eva's or Olaf.
Didn't you have any questions? Didn't anything that I don't know how, what and why? Can you just now reflect maybe more on the questions? Yes, Julia.
Should preparation be like a draft of the answer or just steps?
Should the preparation be like a table, in the table form?
Should we start to write our text or only prepare to the writing? So to write some parts of our text, like the beginning or ending. And I have answered the question. Well,
Or after?
Yes. Then I think we have to write it after preparation.
Why then do you ask the question?
Because I had such a question, but I have answered it.
You have already answered, so
Yes.
your idea is before, after.
After, yes.
So, what do you think should be the aim and the outcome of our today's lesson? According to your aims which you have put down to yourself, and according to the questions and according to the things we are going to do, we will discuss the preparation. What do you think? What can we expect as an outcome of the lesson, you think?
Maybe finding the answers to these questions.
The answers to these questions, Sasha.
And solving the problems which are meant in these questions.
Somebody else?
Yes. Adding some new features to our preparation model, because sometimes we have like standard preparation.
To find new ideas, somebody else? So we have a list of ideas, don't we? Well, do you think that we need all of them for our today's lesson? Too much? What do you mean by too much? Too many? And that is why we won't be able to answer?
Yeah.
Just because there are too many? Yes,
I think some of them are kind of the same, that's why we have to...
Okay, some of them are okay, but what part of your reflection do you think are most important for our lesson?
So how to do a good this preparation thing? So the model of this preparation.
Okay, which things from this list will be more helpful for us, Sasha?
I think the questions will be more helpful because we can
Why?
we can discuss the ideas and the topics which you meant in the questions.
Why? The questions will be more important for us than let's say, advantages, which you mentioned. Why?
Questions are problems,
And
that's why we can solve, but advantages we can't solve.
why problems which we need to solve are important for our today's lesson, Ernest? Okay, I agree, but if we speak that what we will focus more from this list, will advantages be as important as questions? You consider yes. Olga?
I think that questions we can make some conclusions by the result will be the conclusion, but advantages or disadvantages, they are already made conclusions, that's why we can't speculate about it.
So how do you decide which is more important for the lesson, which is less important for the lesson for today, for example?
If we need to think, if we are talking about thinking, then questions are better.
Better? Why?
Because we haven't got answers on it, so and it is a problem for us because we don't understand it. Something.
If we have named the advantages, then that means that we have the appropriate level of the success in these questions. But if we have questions, then we have to improve these parameters.
Yeah.
So we can make from questions advantages or disadvantages.
Hopefully. And that is the aim of the lesson. Yes or no? Do you agree? So now we are going to rearrange your settings in class, and the way we are going to work, you are going to work in groups.
Citizens are one of the elements.
Likes and dislikes. Also, I want to say about
Speak English.
Can I answer?
Yes.
I think by, for example, when I'm preparing for task 6 and when I am writing language parameter, I always write there about vocabulary. I will have to use in my text. For example, if I have to maybe express negative opinion about the bonus ideas, for example, I have to add some words which will express them. For example, some linking words will express that I am not agreed with this statement, and so on. So that's why I think the language maybe also contains vocabulary.
So, and I understand you have a column with vocabulary?
No, yes, kind of examples of words which I can use so I can express my opinion.
And it also maybe depends on the task, because if you have to make your text appropriate to the children, the vocabulary and the language would be different from the scientific work or whatever. So that is why it's important to mean the language parameter, I think.
For the narrator's aim come ideas, as I understand you.
So, maybe
As an outcome of the aim.
as a narrator's aim, and there comes the idea that the narrator would mean. But as from my aim, it comes then how would this narrator achieve his aim, and how would it be meant in the text, in the product?
Yes,
About character and so on. But for her own, as if he would write this text, if she would write this text, her aim is to mean the thoughts and her conclusions after the conversation. So I had to take into account both aims and to evaluate it from. So from my aim, there comes the way how to reach maybe her aim.
So basically, these aims are like start point, because it depends from what aim we have, and then maybe we have. If I have aim for me, and if I
combine. So, for example, at receive style of the text, style of the text, it can be language, structure, so on. So.
I don't agree, because there is such a type of the text. There would be mean even the structure and so on. Just for that we see that about all these things like children and scientific text.
Okay, I understand, but you answered me the question that language is needs to be for children, for example. So, and the style of the text, it can be for children too. So I think we see here similarities.
There is some similarity, but I don't think these are absolutely the same things. As for me.
Speaking about the type of the text, what could be the values for this parameter? Is there only one choice of the type of the text, even for children, if we speak about children?
If it is given, then yes.
But if it is not given, if you need to choose it, will there be only one value for this parameter?
No. For creating the text, there will be one value. But if for choosing, there could be several. There could be several.
Do you understand, Sash, or not? So we may have different types of texts. Can you give me an example? What type of text could be if we speak about, like, say, the education of children?
Fairy tales.
A fairy tale.
Novel.
Comics.
Novel. Maybe.
Will they be different in terms of the language or not?
Yes, I think.
And will this language and this language be the same?
No.
Clear? Okay, but can you tell me what influences the choice of the value for these parameters? For example, you put out here type of the text, what to take into account. What will it depend on? Only Olga can say, I am asking everybody, it is not about this particular model, but in general. When you decide on what, so here you have put down the parameters, maybe some parameters or values, and then you can come further with values. And what is the option, what is the range of the choice for these values? Is it easy to choose? And how can we choose? What can help us to choose? Or what will it depend on? I mean, what kind of values you choose here? One hand, two hands.
That is a good question.
Do you have a question?
Yes. Okay. Why we must choose something? We must use all these to do.
Okay, but you need, okay, structure. Is there only one possibility of how to organize the structure?
No, so we need to aid more parameters for these values.
Not always. About maybe scientific text or scientific essays, there is a definite structure.
Okay, so it depends on what type of text you choose.
Yes.
But for choosing the type of the text, do you have only one option when you start writing, producing a text? Do you have only one option to choose in the very beginning?
No.
Maybe no.
Several.
How to choose? How will you choose? Which type of text? Just randomly, which one you like? You just choose the one which is easier for you, which you know how to write, which is clear for you, which you personally like, and you just choose. Is it?
According to our aim.
According to the aim and the GC.
Okay, so there are some things.
According to maybe even both aims, either mine, either the narrator's aim.
Yes. Okay, okay. So what should be the very first step when you think and prepare? It's the most important. I don't know. What do you think? Yes, sir.
Yes, when it comes to the aim, because we need to choose.
And what should be written in this aim? What aim should it be so that it can help you to write, to fill in all these variables, or what should you put down into this aim?
First aim, it is what we can, what we want to get it from doing this task. It is for us, for our self-study. Then the aim, what we can get from, what we want to hear from audience about our presentation. Like,
but that is writing. You are writing. Imagine that you are writing a real article to a real newspaper or magazine for a kind, not for a market.
So the aim to what we want to say to the audience.
The aim will be what we want to say to the audience.
What we want to. The reaction of the audience.
Or the other parameters. So the type of the text, the narrator, GC, content, not only the title, I think, because, for example, that in the aim there must be all these parameters about the basic and the general, and then we have to go to the sub parameters, I think. So, for example, the aim could be that my aim is to create a maybe fairy tale for.
So first you choose the type of the text.
Type, then to the GC for the children, for example. Then maybe the content could be put on for to create a fairy tale for the children, for maybe understanding them. Don't know. Why the math is important, for example, and maybe then there could be the narrator from point of view of the, I don't know.
And now a figure.
A figure.
Mathematical figure. Okay.
Okay.
So about the home task, I will put the model or both models, and this maybe not a question, but both models on the site. You can use this model which we have produced. You can add something. You can change it to the one which is more convenient for you. And another task is please write a part of your task.